You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's R&B Divas LA After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's R&B Divas LA After Show.
Damn it, sorry.
You gonna be the.
What are we listening to?
Because I'm in the jungle today, baby.
Yes, you are looking fabulous.
I am the queen of Zamunda. Yes, sir.
Zamunda is actually not a real.
Duh.
It's not real.
Why are you saying that like I don't know that?
Well, anywho, Bing is for doing, and we are doing another AfterBuzz recap on R&B Divas LA. I'm your host, Bamm Ericsen. Please introduce yourself.
I'm a co-host, Megan Thomas, also known as @MegScoop on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And you can call me the Queen of Zamunda if you'd like.
Hello, I am Alfred, known as Thomas II. At Eyes on Black.
And I'm Larice Peoples at True Peoples.
My brother.
And so, Divas Throw Down, episode 6 of season 1 of R&B Divas LA. So, what are your thoughts, just really quickly? Just give me a word or two that describes.
I knew it, and sad to see, but I'm glad. I mean, the way this is coming to the head, I'm cool with, because I think the right characters are standing up for themselves, and the other characters are showing their true colors.
I think it definitely was a showdown, because a showdown between individuals who felt that Kelly's not doing her part or somebody's not doing their part. So it's starting to become more of a nitpicking battle now, and it's really want to see who's going to basically outshine the next person.
Again, Kelly is not my friend in my head this week. I don't know if she'll ever recover to being my friend in my head
That's 3
anymore.
strikes.
That's
Yeah,
3 strikes.
that is
That's
3
3 weeks in a
strikes.
row.
3 weeks
I'm just not happy with this situation, especially because it's getting real, guys.
It's getting kind of heavy.
I know when you see, and then when you see the previews for next week, I just think
Turn up.
This is getting. I'm not happy about this.
I am excited for next week's episode because, like you said, you just kind of see the true color of each individual, and you really kind of see like how they feel about each other, and you know what the show is about.
You're excited because Claudette is back next week because she's been missing. That's why you're really excited.
I was like, man, where's Claudette? Quiet kept. Like, nobody's here. I'm just glad to see Michel'le back. I love her.
Right.
She's my favorite right now.
My thoughts are not so who cares, but it's like I don't. It's
Man, you're a harsh critic.
It's gone so far left, and I feel like it's gone far left for no reason at all.
But go ahead.
And again, I'll go back to when they felt certain ways about certain. Well, it was some. I don't killed it. Sorry. Yeah. I feel like they should have. This all could have been prevented a long time ago.
Yes.
If they could have said something to each other versus saying it to the confessional.
Right.
And so let's just get right into it. So
I kind of disagree because I just feel like everybody kind of was saying their part before. Kelly's just been missing in action, so they wasn't able to confront Kelly about it. So then now that they're confronting Kelly about it, it's more like, well, how do you feel?
But they had a couple rehearsals prior. But see, this is my problem. Shantae told Kelly that she was going to bring in a producer, which we find out from Fred, and Little Mo confirmed it on The Breakfast Club, that Fred was brought in from the TVOne.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why Kelly's making such a big deal about this when TVOne brought Fred in. I don't get it.
I think the bigger issue is that Kelly wants to be in control, and because she's not in control, that's the reason why she feels the way she feels. She has the aggression towards Shantae against Fred because she no longer has control, even though it's her baby, it's her idea, but ultimately someone else is taking control of her project. Because lack of effort of her being there in the direction.
All right, well, let's just take control over the show and let's recap it. Let's go into Dawn and her fertility issues. What do you guys think about
I
that?
think I'm glad
that.
Wait, stop.
Hammer time.
Both of you in unison said you're glad. That means you two actually agree.
I know.
Hey, it's our first time for everything.
Right. Oh my goodness, the fat lady has sung. So what I say is, don't be looking like that. Anyway, Bamm, what I'll say is I'm so glad that Dawn is looking into other avenues of reproduction because, she was saying at first that she didn't want to have an adoption. So I think this is really good, especially when there's kids that are in the foster system, which is where she went for, to adopt children. I think that's amazing because there's a lot of children who need love, who have maybe not have such favorable lives, especially going through the foster system. It may not always be good. So I'm glad they've at least looked into that route and have left that door open.
I mean,
I'm glad she kind of. I agree with you, Megan. Where she's looking outside of her own personal efforts of conceiving a child, because again, she goes to the holistic doctor to kind of really understand what can I possibly do, what are my percentages of being able to conceive a child.
I feel like she's going to the holistic route because the doctor has basically told her the chances are not looking so great. So now it's one of those things where you if you have a friend who tells you can we use
No, you can't.
we're gonna use it as an example. Okay, so I think you look pretty. I think you do look like a queen. But there are some people here who don't think.
I know there's some people hating on my Queen of Zamunda beauty today.
So if you didn't like what other people were saying about your headscarf, you would keep going to other people until somebody told you, girl, you look good, girl, you look good. And I feel like that's the same. I feel like that's what Dawn is doing. The doctors has told her one thing, so she's going to keep going until she tells somebody, it tells someone that she can potentially have babies.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that you never want to kind of go with your first opinion. She's just kind of seeking a second opinion. And for her sake, in her mind, she feel like going to a holistic doctor kind of give her like a more versed opinion about her conceiving children. I mean, she has the hope and dream like, hey, if I can't conceive a child, again, like you said, she'd go through foster care or something. But her ultimate goal, she would like to conceive a child. She's trying to basically exalt any possible avenue that she's able to conceive a child.
I disagree. I really think, as the episode even goes on, I hate to say this about Dawn, but she's a little bit of a jellyfish. Codfish is what we used to call them. It's like she just really.
What does that mean?
It's like she doesn't have a strong backbone, a strong stance for herself. So when I say she's really jelly with it, like she needs to hear, oh, he tells me no, I need to hear yes, I'll pay for it. I was like, my thoughts were, you could pay me if you really want somebody to lie to you. You don't have to necessarily go to that and take that full extent. I'm just saying, when it comes to the way she carries herself and a lot of her reactions to her situations, I felt like she even admits, I just need to hear yes. Right then after the dude says, yeah, it's a little bit more possible, because the last thing she wanted to hear from the holistic doctor is that it's a hard thing. And then when he gave her that list of stuff she had to do, she didn't even look like she was in gear to really, she didn't care about it. She just wanted to hear it's still possible. But for her, she's just attached to the hope.
I think she should be. I feel like this. Yes, Dawn's old, and as the doctor said, her eggs
not old.
are.
She's just
for childbearing,
Gotcha.
she's almost a menopausal age. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I understand the doctor said her eggs are probably rotten. She did say in this episode that she's had her ovary and her tube removed, so she is left with one working ovary. So because of the fibroids. So now she's and she even said that there's still some fibroids that are left in there. So the situation's not looking good. I'm just saying, you got the age issue, you've got one ovary left, you got fibroids, you've got stuff that are still in there. So it's not looking too good for her, but I feel like I'm happy with her still being like, where there's a will, there's a way. And another thing is, hold on, and maybe she can't use her own egg because they might be too old. old, but uteruses never get old, by the way. You can still carry a baby at like 80 or 90. It might not be your own DNA, but you can still, a woman can still carry a baby in a uterus. So, you know.
Learn something every day.
I mean, but I think Dawn just like that little kid who goes to mom say no, you can't have it, but then go to dad until she actually somebody finally gives her what she wants, until she really realized that, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna have it. I basically have to like choose some other options in life, and I just feel that's what she's acting like on this issue.
I have a question though about that. What do y'all think about her when she was talking to the lady and the foster care lady, and she was saying how, like, you know, we're in a relationship now, and this is somebody that, you know, I'm committed to. Do you feel like her and her boyfriend Chris are stable enough to be taking care of children together?
Because one of the things that she said, what she said, and I don't know if she was joking or if this was for the camera, but she did say that his stability or his mentally, and I'm not really sure, but he's a great guy. There was something.
But how new was this relationship?
Right.
She said
6 months.
She said mentality, I don't know, but they've only been dating for 6 months.
That's not long enough to know that
But
you're
hold on, but they're almost 50, so do you really need to be with somebody for that long if you're
But
almost
at the
close to
same
50?
time, like 6 months, you can't literally, you don't know somebody in a year.
But we did say, well, I know I did. I think Megan and I did say that last week. You know, at that age, you don't have to date for 2 years to know that you.
I mean, that's
But
true
she doesn't
too,
look like the type of person that makes those strong decisions. She looks like somebody who settles. And I would more so think that she was like, I really want this kid now. He and I are engaged in each other enough. You know what I mean? He seems to like to have sex and clearly, you know what I'm saying, likes to be around her and enjoys her company. It seems to be the silly kind of character for her straight, scary all the time kind of attitude. I think that definitely it plays into the decision she's making now, and him being so silly to take that situation and play. I mean, I like him as a guy. I think he's a positive image in the sense of what she's going through, but in the sense of making practical decisions for your life, I don't think that he's the best decision for her.
I don't think both of them make a rational decision about having this child. I mean, I like to date somebody at that age, okay, cool, we can be together, but for both of us to try to conceive a child within 6 months, I just think it's just an irrational decision that both of them trying to make right now.
And another thing I want to say, I'm gonna jump both sides. When the doctor asked her question, she said, "Do you exercise?" She said she doesn't have energy. Let me say this: for someone who has 2 kids and raised 2 kids, you have the young stage, where they're gonna run you like crazy. You got to get up at night because you have to adjust to their schedule.
Exactly.
Then there's the preschool age where they're still active.
Right.
Then there's junior high, and then there's so many stages of having kids. If you don't exercise, to do 45 minutes of exercise.
That's a lie, because I know some people. Look at Honey Boo Boo's mom. I'm pretty sure she doesn't exercise, and she's got a crap load of kids. So I don't think you have to exercise.
But Dawn says that she doesn't have the energy. All I'm saying is that at her age to carry a child,
it's going to be draining.
It's going to be draining. It's going to be tired. Then there's
anybody.
No, I mean, but
what woman says I have all the energy to have kids? No woman. Everybody's tired.
But at the same time, you look at 40 years old. She already saying she don't have energy. She probably don't eat right. She don't exercise. And she probably don't take any vitamins. So the possibility of she actually having kids and even like going through 9 months of pregnancy, she's gonna be exhausted and trying to pursue a career in music all over again. No, it's not gonna happen.
Any woman can do that. Like, that's the norm. I don't think there's any woman that's like, okay, I'm full of energy, I'm full of life, I'm gonna have my kid right now. No, 90% of women that have children are tired. Okay,
I understand that,
and you end up getting more energy.
They also
it comes
are like
from nowhere.
Between the age of 22 and 30.
But it doesn't matter if you're gonna have kids. I'm not against her having children at this late in life. I'm just saying she should probably think of other avenues. Maybe you get a donor egg instead of using your own. I'm just saying she should think about other stuff. I think it's okay for her to still be a mom at 47.
I understand that.
She's 47?
But she's 47. Yeah. But all I'm saying is that if she's saying that she's
that's
tired,
discrimination. Look at his face when you said 47.
She's 47?
She's 47.
47.
I wish that I can look at your faces right now when you guys go on iTunes. So make sure that you go to iTunes, you download, you rate, you tell a friend, and you keep us in the top 20 for here at AfterBuzz TV. So thank you guys, iTunes, and thank you also for the comments on YouTube as well. Okay, well
don't y'all know when she have a kid, he graduates, she's gonna be 65.
So what's wrong with that?
I was know y'all didn't do the math or something.
What's wrong with having old parents?
But 65 in high school?
So
But I will say this.
I was just saying.
I would say this. Roseanne Barr, said that one of the things that she's very happy that she had a child in her 40s, but she said, she said, my ass is too old for this. 'Cause now she's in her 60s and her kid is like 18, 19. She was like, whoa, I'm just too old for this. I'm glad I have my child, but she said, what was I thinking? That's all I'm going to say. So now let's go forward. Let's go forward with that. And now let's go into Little Mo and her family and the transition of trying to move to LA. Little Mo wants to move to LA, and her husband, manager, Philip.
I like the 3-step process. I think it's like, again, you kind of try it out. 'Cause they have a lot going on either way. She have kids, they have a business back home, and Little Mo just want to kind of go 100 miles, like, I just want to be here. But you got to look at the realistic factor. You have a business back home. Let's try it out, see how it works. If it works for us, then we kind of be bi-coastal, and if it really works for us between being bi-coastal, we can just pretty much pick up the family and move. But with her just deciding like, hey, I want to be here because I want to pursue my career, reunite my career, I think it's like she needed to slow down and just listen to her husband.
But I think I like the pull and tug of this particular situation, because it is dope to see that you have a strong family foundation, and they clearly have it, to where they have the unity between the husband, the wife, the kids, and the grandparents, to where that does matter. And I like to see that, her pursuing her dreams at that age. If you have accomplished a lot, it never ends, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once you've accomplished something, there's something to salvage, there's something that will get in the way of your progression if you really, heed to the things that those components need in that family. Like, they need to be kind of attached to the family life, the grandmas, and being in the neighborhood. And the fact that she had a child out of another marriage, that whole unity in that father, even though he's not making it hard like Shantae's husband is for her, I think it's definitely a situation where I'm glad that he's being considered, and Phil, he definitely cares about what's the family is going through.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that I am glad that I like their relationship. She's the one thing I can say about Little Mo is she's definitely a down wife. She's down for her husband. She's not belittling. She really is like, look, this is what I want to do. They have a good rapport, but she's willing to compromise. So I will say that I love that about her. I love the relationship. She's not one of those, you're going to do as I say type of women. To her husband, she plays a role. So I like that about her. But this is what I don't like about the 3-step process, and this is the same thing that Little Mo says. She says, okay, that's fine, but let's put this into action, because the problem with the 3-step process is that there's no time involved. He doesn't have like, okay, we'll try this out for 6 months. You have to quantify how long we gonna do this, or else you're gonna be doing a 3-step process for 10 years. And he's still like, we still trying it out. We still trying to see if we want to move. So I agree with Little Mo in the fact that she's like, okay, let's just, we're going to have to put this into action then. So that means let's come up with the time frame. We're going to try this out for this amount of time, and at that time we'll have another conversation about what we're going to do from that point forward. So
I agree. Because any new adventure or any business, you got to kind of have that time format. Whether it's going to be 2 months, 6 months, or even if it's bi-coastal, let's go see how you do within the first 2 or 3 months. If it works out, if things hit off for you, great. You can spend more time. I agree with you.
I think, for the sake of TV, I think if the cameras are off and they're taping the show, I think they're probably thinking, let's go to LA, let's tape the show, let's do R&B Divas, let's see how things work out after the show airs, and see how things go. And if things doesn't go as planned, then we'll move back to Baltimore. That's in my head what I'm thinking, what the real conversation is, which is a smart move, because basically them doing the show is probably 3 or 4 months. Getting paid. So that's already right. Step one.
Right.
I mean, I hope that Little Mo is in LA, because Little Mo, if you're in LA, and I know you watch AfterBuzz,
we want to come to your show.
I want to come to your house, and I want to fry you some gluten-free fried chicken, because I know you like fried chicken. So, Little Mo, I want to come to your house. I hope you're in LA, and I want to fry you some gluten-free chicken.
And I want to sing with you, baby. Don't be hating on me. You know what I'm saying?
You just completely ruined a good.
I did not. That was
message
amazing.
for Little Mo.
See, you're gonna get mad when she wants to do a duet with me. Why are you laughing? Now I want to say this though. I'm glad that she finally got a tattoo when it was a good experience. Because remember she said she always got tattoos when something bad.
Refreshing.
So at least she got Will Jonah's name on her arm. you know.
I don't know why they put all that wrap on her arm though for that little name on the
Why do
back.
they put saran wrap on?
I don't know. You
It's
tell
how they
It's to keep the color and the moisture.
protect the tattoo.
Oh, is that what it is?
But I don't think her whole arm needed to be stuffed up like
But
that. I
you
was
can't
like,
just put a piece of saran wrap on.
that tape.
That's it.
I mean, it just was all.
That's what I'm saying. That's,
whooshing around.
yeah,
I said,
sleeve.
you
Oh,
don't
that's
want
not what
that.
you're
You don't need all
supposed
that.
I don't have no tattoo.
I don't know.
saying.
Yeah. But it was interesting how, I mean, she lay right there on that table and she had a full conversation. I mean, I've seen people take stuff to get tattoos, and she was just laying down there having
She
conversation.
experienced.
But once you
I know,
have
but
that
she
many,
has tattoos,
but
like,
yeah,
all on
once
her
you have
neck,
that many
sensitive
tattoos,
spots.
you kind of know your pain threshold, and it's actually sometimes comforting to talk to somebody or be engaged in something. Me personally, I like to look at it, like, you know what I'm saying. But some people like to talk and be distracted. Yeah. She got to talk out her situation with her husband.
I love Lil Mo. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I like where they have conversations. They were at the Grove a couple weeks ago. Now they're at the tattoo shop,
And in the studio.
and they were in the studio as well. So I really enjoyed Little Mo and her husband Philip. So now, speaking about family, let's go into Shantae and her situation with her ex-husband, singer.
Kenny Lattimore. And they're not buddies. But what you can do is be our buddy and go to serialbuddies.com and download the movie Adventures of Serial Buddies, because this movie is amazing. It's funny. It's like Dexter meets Dumb and Dumber. Really funny serial buddy killer comedy. So make sure you go to serialbuddies.com, and you can also go to iTunes and search for Adventures of Serial Buddies. Downloading the movie helps us here at AfterBuzz TV. It keeps us ad-free, buffering-free. It keeps us able to keep the lights on and have this great show for you. So make sure you go to serialbuddies.com and download the movies Adventures of Serial Buddies.
All right, so let's go back to Shantae Moore and her legal issue with her ex-husband, Kenny Lattimore. What do you guys think?
I think it's a circus. I think, I mean, I would hate to think that anything of her success would bring somebody bothering her to the degree he is at this particular time. But, you know, like I said, it's a very kind of fickle thing when you're getting into kids and people fighting over them. I don't really know the whole truth. And even in Dawn's situation with things about her ex-husband, you know, I think once you get into that kind of category, it becomes personal business. It's just unfortunate that it's made its way to be blasted out in front of everybody. But I feel really sad for her, especially with her having to deal with these women, and then you have something like that in your life, as well as what Donna's going through with, you know, trying to conceive a kid. I think it's really a reality shock for those who may look at these stars and think that, you know, they don't have to juggle what they go through and the gossip or the people lashing out at them as they're trying to continue their successful careers or get things together. I think it was just a sad thing to look at. You know what I mean? I hate to see a woman in that situation.
I think overall, like you said, we really don't know the whole entire story between Kenny and Shantae. I mean, she's telling us she's a great parent, and she don't know why Kenny want to do this. He's being spiteful. But again, it's two sides to every story. I mean, for whoever it is, and for whatever it is, I just wish that, you know, whoever have the kids, that they have the best interest of the kids.
Right.
And also with Shantae being honest enough to reveal this, because she didn't have to reveal the storyline. She could have chose to do music or whatever her storyline is. She could have chose to have something different. But, you know, the reality is their son KJ is probably going to hear about it if he's not familiar with what's going on. So he's going to hear from it. And so it could potentially affect the child. Sometimes it doesn't affect the child. But I'm not going to take sides, but I'll just say this. Both of them are successful singers, and in order to keep the lights on in your house, you make albums, you sing in plays, and you record and you tour, which I know both of them do that at some point throughout the year in order to
Pay the bills.
to pay the bills. So I just wonder, she tours, he tours, how could one be neglectful, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they both are in the same business. So to say that she's not there. They work. They're,
Right.
My thing is, what are you going to do much better?
Yeah.
Like, what life are you providing that the son
That's
is?
this is why I have a problem with this, because we're seeing it from Shantae's perspective, and her perspective is, she's the custodial parent, obviously, and she's like, I'm a good parent, which she probably is. But at the same time, why can't Kenny be a good parent? Maybe he's a good parent too. All we're hearing from her is that he wants legal custody of their son. So why can't he have legal custody? Because you have it right now. So what is the difference? Because both of you are in the same profession. Both of you will probably be gone the same amount of time. So what makes you a better parent that you should have legal custody over Kenny? And that's a piece of information that we're missing that hopefully we get in other episodes, so we can be like, okay, I'm riding with you, Shantae, on this.
There was one thing that Shantae did say when she was when she was talking with Little Mo. She says, why can't you be the best dad on your own time?
But also,
but that's what I'm saying. But there's a problem with that, because
I'm just saying that I didn't like that comment.
Yeah, I didn't either, because what that implies is my time as the legal custodial parent is more. I should have more time with him than you do, because technically whoever has legal custody probably has more say as to what can happen with the child. So for me, it's kind of like, well, what's wrong with him having legal custody and then you being the parent that maybe doesn't have as much time, and you just be the best mom that you can be when you have time with them?
But she also made the statement about if Kenny was the legal guardian, that he would try to basically control and dictate the time that she see KJ.
Which she's probably doing right now.
Exactly. So it's probably like she don't want to do the same. She don't want it to be the same thing that she's doing that he would do to her. It's just like one of those battles, like when you kind of divorce and you have a child involved, somebody's always wrong in the other person's eye. Again, like, we don't know the full story. We can't say, oh, what Kenny did this or Shantae doing this. We just hearing Shantae's side. So
I think it brings a good point, though, in our legal system when it comes to family law and the stuff that goes on with families. It's just so sad, because at the end of the day, the only person that gets hurt is the child. You know what I'm saying? Why can't it just be 50-50? It's tough. You can't make decisions like that. Sometimes one parent wants the child to eat this, the other parent wants the other child to eat this. So it gets really hairy. I understand that, but it just sucks because the children end up getting hurt.
Yeah.
Well, so let's now go on to, speaking of battles, let's go to the whole Shantae Kelly situation, and there's a lot that we need to discuss with this.
What do y'all think about the whole Timberland and Vaseline, I got a blade in the bag?
I'm saying I love you, Kelly Price. You're not my friend in my head anymore, but I don't know. I think she was playing dumb. I think she really...
Yes.
Yes,
when she was just like, I just brought that out. No, you brought it out for a reason.
But that just how she disrespected Fred and tried to act like it was a scene that she all of a sudden decided to throw at him. I'm like, have fun.
I just think that when she got her back up against the wall, she kind of plays that naive role, like, oh, it was
she
nothing.
played dumb, real dumb.
It's like real dumb, like, oh, did that really happen? Can you refresh my memory? Like, seriously.
I was like, who has at the table when someone asks you a question?
If you took it that way, I didn't mean it that way. Like, seriously, Kelly?
Okay, but for me, Kelly, sorry, but the dead giveaway was when you walked into the building. You had your sunglasses on,
right?
And you could, when you have sunglasses on. I mean, we.
You talking about the meeting with her, Shantae, and Little Mo?
I mean, I'm guilty. I have wore sunglasses in building because I was trying to be cool. But if I'm having a conversation, I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, I could just see you with your glasses.
And so, but when you're having a serious conversation. Especially when there's been problems and issues. If Larice and I was beefing or there's been some tension, I wouldn't come in the room looking all leaned back with sunglasses, because
that's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful, and you're already hiding. You're already hiding, basically saying I'm here, but I'm not trying to look at you, and that's what Kelly did. So the whole sunglasses was a dead giveaway in this. Huh?
But at the same time,
she was like, huh?
But she kind of came and said, "Oh, I didn't really want to come in this conversation because I knew we going like pretty much. I knew we was going to talk about this, so I really didn't want to talk about it. So I'm just kind of like here." And like her response to everything was just like, "Whatever." I'm about to drop the bomb on y'all right now. Like, boom. I don't want to be part of this anymore.
That was expected as a mug. It was just a matter of time.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I think it's if she truly brought the Vaseline, the tub of Vaseline and the Timbs and the straight edge, if she truly brought that as props, when they brought this to her attention, like, yeah, Shantae said, I felt like you were directing that. I mean, she'd have been like, what?
Oh, no,
like,
last
she would have been
episode,
she would, even this time, she would have been completely floored and blindsided and surprised. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't bring that for you. That's not how she was. She was just like, huh? That was for y'all.
And another thing, Kelly says, you know, we were at rehearsal and I was bringing props. Y'all have been in a building, a rehearsal building, but y'all ain't had a rehearsal yet.
Right.
Not one.
And she hadn't planned to have a rehearsal.
Absolutely. So I'm sorry, but I that was just
Not
BS.
Team Kelly.
Not at all. But then she goes on to say, when Little Mo says, basically, I'm for Team Fred, and this is what we're moving forward with, and trying to get her perspective if she was going to stay or she was going to go. And then she says that she's booked.
But Little Mo
that's-
said, like, okay, is he gonna be one of the directors too? Is what she said. She wasn't saying Fred's gonna be the primary director, but she's like, oh, is Fred gonna be one of the director? And Kelly was just kind of like, whatever. She's not really interested.
To say that she's booked, she admitted that she had, you know, she hasn't been responsive and she hasn't been able to plan and organize this. For me, when you are having an event or a party, for instance, Black has something that's going on starting September. He's been planning for this event for
all month.
He's been planning for this.
Flyers.
He's been planning for a long time.
Food.
And so he set a date. How can you come on national TV, you tell these other 5 women, I have this monologue that I want to do. You say you have a director, but you really didn't, because we noticed that you called Tori when you was at rehearsal. Right. All right, so that was untrue. Or
Post the third argument about that.
Yes, or unless there was editing, just to play another side. You have planned all of this. There's no date, but then you say it was plans as if they had a couple weeks before this thing was on. So potentially maybe there was a date set, but now you're booked. Like, you knew that you were going to do this monologue a long time ago, and your husband Jeffrey was already going over your schedule. So something's not right, and it just sounds like just BS.
She doesn't want to do it. I mean, it is BS.
I think it's really, but again, I just think it's just a factor of where she feels she no longer has control over her idea, and because the girls are favoring Fred, she feels like, I don't want to deal with it. But this is the issue: is you feel like, oh, you don't want to open up to Fred, which you did on episode 4, but at the same time, it's like Fred's is there to orchestrate everything that's going on. You came to rehearsal twice. You pretty much
cause ruckus.
It caused ruckus, disrupt the rehearsal. Again, Fred's job is there. Okay, let's put a structure. All he did was create a structure. Even if you wanted Tori to basically to be your number one, the director, producer, it's okay, cool. Fred could actually come in, give idea, and y'all can pretty much co-produce this monologue together. But her attitude is just disrupting everything. It's like Kelly really didn't want to do it for herself anyway.
Yeah, my biggest thing is she didn't put any work in
Exactly.
at any point.
Right.
It was always in her head. It was always something to talk about later. It was always something to prepare for, not at all. She never did really prepare for it.
And I
so
like-
it's like, I don't get it.
And I like how she was like, I'm in the studio, and Little Mo said, I'm in the studio too.
Right.
But I think the bigger thing about the monologue is that this right here, that Kelly probably feel that, oh, I'm underprepared because everybody else is more prepared than me, and I don't want to basically let everybody outshine me, so I'm just going to back out.
It wasn't even. I don't even think it was that. She couldn't even get past the fact that this was something that was her idea, and she wanted to do it on her terms. So it wasn't even the fact that she was underprepared. She wasn't trying to prepare for it.
I mean,
she was just
that's
like,
true.
I don't want to do this because this is not the way I set it up in my head. It's my idea. So because of that, pump the brakes. I have to tell y'all this. I don't like the fact that she did not. She should have told all of them together, or she should have sent a text message. She should have called these girls. It shouldn't have been some, well, since y'all called me in here to tell me, to talk to me about a director. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to be doing this no more. I didn't like that. She should have been proactive and came to them to tell them that.
She decided to visit her old self in high school, middle school, and truly had an experience at the playpen where somebody took her toy that she was about to touch, and they made it seem like, figured out how to work something on it, and she was like, bam, no toy for nobody.
Right.
I'm just going to destroy everything. And I think she decided to ruin that thing as soon as Shantae even told her to mention of the other director. She was like, "Oh, you gonna get another director? I'm about to blow this bad boy
from day
up."
one,
I think she
just
was
like
already on that.
disruptive.
It was just growing. She was like, "Y'all ain't gonna give it to me? Y'all ain't gonna give me back my baby? Okay, Vaseline time."
I'm gonna go outside of looking at the television, and I'm gonna go toward TVOne. I think maybe this is something that TVOne planned so that there's drama and ruckus. This had to be because Tori was hired by TVOne. Kelly brought.
No, let's not say TVOne. Let's say the production company that produces.
Is there a wizard on this show?
Yes.
Probably a wizard.
Yeah.
It's a wizard.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that the production company that's affiliated with the show, maybe they caused this because I just think this whole thing
make sense.
It doesn't make sense
To
at
be
all.
honest with you,
It doesn't make sense that she's. It's like, you know, me, I'm first. It's like this attitude that she all of a sudden has.
where did it come from?
Yeah, I don't understand where it came from.
But I
You
think
miss
also
Sharon and
like
Karen when you first got on the show.
when she dropped the bomb, because you know how like sometimes people are, oh yeah, we're gonna build up, and I'm just gonna drop the bomb on 'em at the last moment. Then they'll be crushed. Everything they work hard for, it's like it's no longer exists. I'm just gonna crush them by saying like, hey, I'm just gonna pull out.
Right, and
Kelly's 40th birthday party. That was like the quickest scene. I don't what.
I think it was uneventful, but she did sing that song. Ooh.
But at the same time, like for her to feel like, oh well, I haven't seen Shantae. Why is Shantae here? She's still your friend. Y'all had a little battle. Y'all said what y'all had to say. It's your 40th birthday party.
Apparently, that's not her friend. That's why she said that.
They are
But I
our
think
friends.
it's stupid. They should still be friends.
I think Kelly just kind of being in herself, and like I just think it's just selfish and just kind of mean and cruel of Kelly. I hate to say that, Kelly, but at the same time, and I think it's kind of childish. That's still your friend, regardless. If me and Bamm have a disagreement, or whatever. If it's a birthday party, I don't care if I ain't talked to him in 3 weeks. I'm still gonna go to the birthday party and say happy birthday to you.
Yeah, and I think
Depends on what it
Shantae.
is for me. Don't show up to my party.
No, but I mean, for what happened, I think Shantae was right in still going because, first of all, technically her invitation never got rescinded. So in that case, I'd still go. I'd be like, you know what?
It wasn't that deep for them though.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't that deep. So she felt like, okay, I'll still go, no big deal. But then for Kelly to be like, I don't know why she came, that's really messed up.
I just think it's trifling.
I think
It
it
is.
was too in the little speech that she gave. It's kind of one of those like she was guilty, but she got up on the mic to say to convince herself that she was right, and then she goes into the song. It's kind of what. Anyway.
I mean, but you know, people do that all the time just to make themselves feel better.
I was gonna say church. Yeah.
You always convert to church. I'm godly. It's like really. But
Speaking of that,
you still do wrong.
Speaking of that, so then there's little Mo at the studio with Philip and Dawn, and at that point, I feel like I saw Dawn like really like turning. She's getting ready to set it up because you see what she says when little Mo tells her that Kelly is no longer going to be a part of the monologues. She says to her, she's just kind of like, you know, but Kelly's probably going through something, and you know, I just feel right then she was already teetering to walk away from the monologue.
But she should have said that in the studio when Little Mo told her in the studio with her husband, like, hey, you know, Kelly decided not to do it, and Dawn's facial expression is like, really, like, why not? I just think like Dawn just basically like is really Team Kelly, and no matter what Kelly does, Kelly can do no wrong.
What you laughing at over there, Black?
I love her, but she's a codfish.
Yes, I mean because she really has no back, she has no spine. She just really kind of like it's just like whatever is just the best thing. I feel like in favor.
There's no spine in there.
And I guess the biggest thing because she feel like Kelly has the most prominent career right now because she's in the studio, and not saying the other divas don't, but at the same time she feel like it's all about Kelly. It's Team Kelly. But I think in the end, Kelly's gonna burn Dawn.
Well, yeah. I appreciate Philip because Philip said, you know, listen, as a musical director, if Kelly's gone, then we need to take advantage of one less girl, and we need to use this opportunity to try and get as many rehearsals as possible because they have not had any rehearsals.
Right, because one monkey don't stop no show.
Exactly. There you
Right,
go.
so he's like, look, let's just do it, you know. Okay, so now there's more time for everyone. Now let's get the going.
Yeah, I just think Dawn just really kind of, that whole scene with Dawn, like when she walked in, it was just kind of like, it's about to be some...
Yeah, like when she comes in there, she hugs everybody like it's all good. She's just like, hi.
No, first
like
of
she
all,
about to practice. She should have came in there like, ladies, love you guys, but I'm not gonna be able to do this.
No, she wanted a dramatic exit.
She did.
That's why she put on the chinchilla.
Hey, that's what I'm about to say. It is 90 degrees outside. Like,
No, we in LA. It ain't 190 degrees in LA.
Oh, okay, 105
No,
outside.
it's like 75.
If you're in the valley,
Yeah.
No, they're at Venice though. That was the Playhouse that they were
yeah.
at. The theater is in
Yeah,
Venice.
it is about like that. But
So it's
like,
cold.
if she come in with a chinchilla, I'm like, really? It's not that cold outside. But
little too
like,
fly for her, so-
dramatic. So I'm just gonna shut them down right now.
Okay, I don't know when she was in the studio with Little Mo and with her husband. I don't know what was the time frame, but you get to rehearsal to say that you're not going to do it. Gas is what, $3.83 a gallon? I would not. I don't care if I had $20 million in the bank. I would not drive way over Yonderville to show up to rehearsal
I
to
am
say
texting you like, yeah,
that I am
you
not
guys.
longer a part of this anymore. If Kelly can drop the bomb when I wasn't at the rehearsal to say that I wasn't there, then I feel like I don't have any loyalty to just go to a rehearsal. And
that would have been a nice email.
Hey, she just wanted to feel like, you know what, I am very important right now because I'm about to tell them no.
I think that was a production company thing. I think they told her, you have to tell them, you have to go in there and tell them that you're not going to be a part of this anymore.
Because you know she probably didn't think to do that.
Here's what I didn't like about how Dawn did this. So Dawn didn't have a real reason. So she gave it away.
She was lying.
Exactly. She gave it away. She should have had one reason why she did not want to do the monologues and stuck to that. Because she first said because she felt underprepared. She hadn't had as many meetings and rehearsals. And so, of course, she's sitting here she said that's her reason. Okay, if that's really your reason, then stick to that. Because the next thing she does is jump to, well, this was Kelly's idea. I feel like we aren't being fair to Kelly.
But hold on,
now
hold on.
you've revealed that you really,
But
Team
also,
Kelly.
when she's saying that she doesn't feel like she's rehearsing, she's trying to play catch up. Little Mo said we haven't rehearsed either.
Right.
So then she had to, after Little Mo had to let her know,
I was about
bitch,
to
we ain't
say.
rehearsed either. Then she had to go to another excuse.
Yeah.
But I just think the same, like, again, like, Dawn is not the person to have the strongest mind to make decisions, and it really kind of starting to show throughout every episode where Dawn is a follower, and that's probably the reason why when she was in the group, the issues that probably took place then,
Yeah.
because she's a follower and she doesn't have a backbone,
She
and it's
probably
just
had nothing
like,
to do with the issues. She was just following whoever left.
yeah, so, you know, I just think, like, Dawn, just keep to your pregnancy.
I also like the fact that Little Mo, I think at this point, Little Mo, she had enough. She was like,
She
was
done
like,
got, like,
Right, that
hood.
Baltimore
She done
came
got
out, baby.
Baltimore.
Ain't no
told you-
wrong in you, little
Yeah.
Mo.
she said, does she manage you? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Bow, shots fired.
I mean, I give Dawn props for finally standing her ground and wanting to get badass, but
But one thing I would say, she's been respectable. She's been in crazy situations and let people do they do and vent out their feelings and
Yep.
stuff like that. It hasn't been until now that she's even decided to take the position of, oh no, because clearly it seems like
Hold on, who
everybody's.
are you talking about? You talking about Lil Mo?
Lil Mo.
Okay.
Taking the opportunity to be like, you're just walking over this situation, which is technically walking over me and my time and my efforts. I could be
Right,
with my
and that's what she
family.
says.
Because that's what it becomes. It becomes like, what are we really doing? And if we wasting each other's time, then
Why do it?
You got too much going on. You got too much going on. I definitely got too much going on. And clearly y'all don't respect that. Do
Yeah.
I have to say that I'm in a recording studio too? Clearly you do, because nobody acts like everybody else is a diva.
I agree with you, but again, one monkey don't stop no show. So I see why Little Mo had to get that out, but at the same time, let them go. They want to quit, let them quit, because you putting and exerting your energy into these people who obviously don't respect your time or respect
Yeah.
anything, don't respect other people's
think they
time.
respect
Then
themselves.
that means, you know what? Let them go. Bye. You gonna hold us down anyway. Get out of here. Don't come back in here. And I really don't like how Don was like, well, where's your goddamn?
Exactly. It's
Where's
like- it's
your
always
God?
like-
Hold on, wait a minute. Just because people get angry, I mean, Jesus got angry. He flipped
got
the tables. So I mean, so maybe her anger could have been a little different, but I don't like when people say that, because you can't say that somebody doesn't have God only because they get angry. Like, that's a human emotion.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this in a godly way. We have to wrap and let's go to news and gossip.
Let's do it then.
TV News.
Okay, so
Wait. Before we go to that, oh boy, I forgot. It's something about Little Mo, but go ahead. I forgot.
okay. So Andre Allen, who is the ex-husband of Don Robinson, has hit us up on YouTube, on our YouTube page, and he's livid that Dawn has apparently been spreading lies about him. We saw in other episodes, Dawn said that he was abusive towards her. He said that's a lie, and he said there's
defamation of character.
Yes, he's taking her to court because he's saying that it's not fair that she's been able to say slander and libel and saying all this stuff about him that's not true. He actually said that Dawn was arrested for domestic violence against him. He was not charged. He actually bailed her out, and he said he has the proof. He also said that he was the one that divorced her, and he also said that, you know how she said that he had 3 kids outside of their marriage? He says he only has 4 kids. Their ages are 20, 16, 5, and 2. If he had had children during their marriage, they would have been between the ages of 5 and 10. Yeah. So technically, there's probably only one of those kids that could have come about during his marriage if he did. In fact,
if I did it, it was 1.
So, but even still, so he's livid. He's just saying that it's not fair that she's saying all these things about him that is, he says, completely untrue. So there's 2 sides to every story. Don't know what's true, what's not. She said he abused her. I'm not saying that he didn't because we don't know. But I'm just giving you the information about Dre's side of the story. And again, he's mad.
And he's welcome to come on the show anytime.
Well,
express yourself.
He declined to come on the show, but he did at least said that he's watched the show, and he thinks that we are an amazing show, and he thinks that that we're a group of informative and young, positive people. So thank you for the comments. And
thank you.
And it's always refreshing, I guess, how people always find out about us on AfterBuzz, whether if it's from iTunes or if it's YouTube. But a lot of the people from R&B Divas, we didn't have to reach out to them. They actually reached out to us, or they just stumbled across it. So I think that's great about that. You guys have any thoughts on this?
I just want to say thank you to everybody.
I mean, I'm kind of glad he kind of reached out to us to kind of clear the air about what really happened. And I'm pretty sure we'll be probably hearing more from other people about R&B Divas. So, I mean, I'm glad everybody just reaching out, just being more involved with the show with us.
Because we want to be contently right and be accurate on our depictions of the show. I mean, I think a lot of people fail to realize when they tape the show and how that plays into the actual lives of the people involved. So if we're able to give backstory and give extra stuff that the show typically doesn't have, then that just makes it all the better.
There we go.
So no, I'm gonna stay out of it. But this past weekend, the girls R&B Divas LA had a reunion taping, and unfortunately they didn't tape it in LA, and so we weren't invited. But they went
salty.
I was upset about that. I thought we were hosting, but no, Wendy Williams actually hosted the reunion. It's a part 2, which will be which will air probably sometime in September. So
praise God, because Joe Claire was not doing. I love you, Joe, but you wasn't built for this.
You weren't built for
the Divas,
You need to stay on a sports show,
right?
Def Comedy Jam.
Let's get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Okay, my prediction will be very quick. I do believe that there's not going to be a vagina logs from Little Mo, Michel'le, Claudette, and Shantae. That's me.
I'll go last.
I think that that whole situation is going to get a little to a lot bit worse before it finds anything kind of foundation. I think that eventually Lil Mo and her husband are going to make the decision to move out here. I think it's just a matter of time.
Okay.
I just think that it's going to be a separation between the Divas, Kelly and Dawn, against the rest of the Divas. That's going to kind of bring more drama throughout the rest of the season. And I think by the end of the season, they're not going to be like as close as they were from the first episode.
Right.
As far as this whole monologue thing, now you're going to hear it. So what, who cares? I'm so over this whole monologue thing because they've drawn this out into a full season when it didn't have to go this way, and there's a lot of missing parts. So again, so what, who cares? Little Mo, I hope she's in LA because I'm going to extend my offer to you again, Little Mo. If you're in LA, I'll hook you up with some gluten-free chicken. And Claudette's back next week, so we get to see her. But
I bet you she stays friends with everybody.
Well, I think they're all friends because I've seen pictures with all the divas since the show has aired, and they had to do the reunion. So I think I think they're friends. I think they'll get over all this silliness.
Yeah.
But I think that's it.
Yeah, you can always find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream. And don't forget to go to serialbuddies.com and download Adventures of Serial Buddies to help us right here on AfterBuzz TV.
You can always find me at All Eyes on Black or Alfred Thomas on Facebook.
And you can find me at True Peoples, TruPeoples on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also check out TruePeoplesMedia.com.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Bamm Ericsen. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to R&B Divas LA here on AfterBuzz TV. We will see you guys next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.